It's 1978 and a communist revolution is sweeping through Afghanistan, which the Soviet Union is keen on supporting as it gives them access to oil in the Middle East, along with an ally to fight against the American-Pakistani alliance back in 1954. And it'll counter the government for Pakistan and America, and it would help stabilize the Afghanistani government.
The Soviet reacted to the unstable position of the communist revolution in Afghanistan. Aiming to back up the revolution and gain access to the Middle Eastern oil, relatively soon into their entry of Afghanistan, the Soviets established key points in the Middle East and Asia, aiming to spread communism. During this time they had to put in social and military reforms, making enemies with the indigenous population and tribal leaders. They initialized land reforms. This led to resistance of the Mujahideen, or Afghan guerrilla fighters, backed by the U.S. military in order to stop the spread of Marxism.
As the war in Afghanistan reached new heights with the crackdown, Mujahideen guerrilla fighters began resisting their Soviet oppressors. Sensing opportunity, the Americans began to support the Mujahideen by helping recruit more Mujahideen soldiers, providing them with modern weaponry such as anti-aircraft and military training. Through this, the Mujahideen were able to stand up to the Soviets and Soviet government, causing major losses to the enemy troops and aircraft.
Go.
After the casualty in Afghanistan began mounting, the United Nations called for the Soviet withdrawal for forces, eventually leading to the Soviet finally agreeing to the treaty and stop the war inside Afghanistan. They effectively ended the war in Afghanistan in a timeline made by the Soviet Union, in which they detailed their withdrawal of Afghanistan. However, though the Soviet Union would withdraw and exit Afghanistan, their proxy government would still attempt to fight, and Mujahideen eventually end with their